voice near? Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man.
I still have a dream. Yes. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
So he said, standing in front of thousands of people at the Lincoln Memorial in 1963, according to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them out of Egypt, even unto that day, wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods, so do also unto thee to this day. Now therefore, hearken unto their voice, howbeit yet protest solemnly unto them, and shew them the manner of the king that shall reign over them, the true king that shall reign over them. According to 1 Samuel chapter 8 and verses 8 and 9 of the King James Version Holy Bible.
With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day.
And still, on that same day in 1963, he dreamed yet another dream and told it to his brethren and the thousands of people that were there that day, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more, and behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. According to Genesis chapter 37 and verse 9. And the word obeisance means that he made me depressed for following false gods, a false god. Wherefore, and as a result, have I seen them dismayed and turned away back, and their mighty ones are beaten down in the streets, and are fled a space, and looked not back, for fear was round about, said the Lord, Yod-Hid-Wav-He. According to Jeremiah chapter 46 and verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and even beat them and find themselves not guilty.
Many believed that the videotape was more than enough evidence to convict the 4 Los Angeles police officers, but the all-white jury saw it another way.
We would like to say that this experience has been an extremely difficult and stressful one which we have all agonized over a great deal.
Almost everyone has heard about or seen the videotape beating of California motorist Rodney King. Chattanooga, Maryland Ashford was shocked by the verdict.
It's just unnecessary beating. To me, it was just unnecessary. And I'm surprised they let him go. Oh, I am surprised.
Chris Hunt was also surprised, but he says he trusts the jury.
If the jury found them not guilty, I think they know more than what I know. Based on what I saw, they appeared to be guilty, but apparently the jury found out something more.
Charles Cox wonders why Rodney King didn't take the stand in the trial.
If they'd have put King on the stand and he'd have told his side of it, I might have changed my mind. But I had a feeling that if he didn't take the stand to tell what he was doing and what he had done and what his record was, just being out of prison a few days, that there was something more to it than what we seen on that tape.
But some folks say the acquittal makes police think they are above the law.
When they do something, it seems like it's okay, with the law. As long as they got on their blue uniform, it's okay.
City Councilman Yusef Hakeem worries that the decision will drive yet another wedge between the police and the black community.
And if we're to move forward together as a community, as a nation, we have to do those things that bring about fairness and justice. And I do not believe this decision is one that brings us together.
Kimberly Blake, News Center 12.
I still have a dream. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day.
And yet another dream. In the same year, during that same speech, in the same place, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him and his dream. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon. I said one shall flee from the iron weapon that's called a gun today, the gun of the police officers, and the bow of steel of the barrel shall strike him through, and even in the back. It is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yeah, the glittering sword, the shining of the barrel of the gun cometh out of his gall, even the bullet. Terrors are upon him. According to Job, chapter 20, and verses 22 through 25 of the King James Version Holy Bible.
I still have a dream. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day.
And still another dream. And they smote all the souls that were therein with the edge of the sword, utterly destroying them, my people. There was not any left to breathe, even pleading for their lives, or uttering, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And he burnt Hazor with fire. According to Joshua chapter 11 and verse 11. So therefore, deliver me not over unto the will of mine enemies. According to George Floyd. For false witnesses are risen up against me in court, and such as breathe out cruelty. According to Psalms chapter 27, verse 12. Then said he unto me, my God, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord God, come from the four winds. Oh, breathe, George, oh, breathe a breath. Breathe, but it's too late. And now, O breath, and breathe upon these slain. Those that are left, breathe upon these slain, that they may live. According to Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 9, live, my people, live, and not by a dream.
I still have a dream. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrims cry. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi.
Well, tonight an investigation is underway after an 11-year-old Mississippi boy was shot by a police officer during a domestic disturbance call last weekend. The family of Adarian Murray is calling on the officer to be fired and charged. CBS's Omar Villafranca reports community members want the police body cam footage to be released.
He's out of the hospital, but 11-year-old Adarian Murray still has bandages where he was shot in the chest by an Indianola, Mississippi police officer last week. His mother, Nikayla Murray, remembers the chaos and confusion while holding her bleeding son.
He started singing gospel.
We'll be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
He started praying. We started praying. We're very religious.
Did you think your son was going to die?
At that moment, I didn't know.
I still have a dream. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day.
Yes, still another dream. The young and the old lie on the ground in the streets and in the parks. My virgins and my young men are fallen by the sword of a gun. Thou hast slain them in the day of thine anger. Thou hast killed and not pitied. According to Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 21 of the King James Version Bible. An innocent young boy in the park. All as a result of your dream.
I still have a dream. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day.
And finally, during the same dream of 1963, which is 63 years later, this year, 2026, the dream has still become a nightmare. Keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not, for I will not justify the wicked, even after murdering a 19-year-old boy in the very same state of Georgia where the dream was created.
That breaking news at this hour. DeKalb County police officer facing criminal charges in connection to a deadly shooting while on duty. I'm Tracy Hutchins.
And I am Wale Aliyu. It's good to be with you tonight. Atlanta News First, Lonnie Latang is live for us in Avondale Estates where the shooting happened last night. And Lonnie, what more are you learning tonight?
Yeah, GBI making quick of this investigation. They're saying that they're bringing charges to 37-year-old DeKalb County officer Derek Harris Jr. following the officer-involved shooting death of 19-year-old Seth Eccles. DeKalb County police say that Officer Harris has been fired. So this is what we know starting from last night. So officers say on Tuesday, DeKalb County police investigated an armed robbery of a mail carrier. U.S. Postal Inspection agents spoke with Eccles, who had been a person of interest. After the conversation, agents allowed Eccles to walk away. Later, officials say they discovered Eccles had an active arrest warrant. Officials then found him again, but he ran away and hid in the woods. The GBI says Officer Harris found Eccles in the backyard of homes on Ramel Way in Avondale Estates. That's where we are right now. Officer Harris gave Eccles verbal commands at gunpoint. They say Eccles complied with the commands, and Officer Harris took Eccles into custody. GBI says during the arrest, Officer Harris shot Eccles, and Eccles later died at the hospital. Now, DeKalb County CEO Lorraine Cochran Johnson released a statement saying that no one is above the law. She and the police chief say their thoughts and prayers are with Eccles' family. And once Officer Harris is in custody, he will be booked into DeKalb County Jail. Reporting live here in Avondale Estates, I'm Alani Latang, Atlanta News First.
Therefore cursed be he that taketh reward to slay an innocent person. And all the people shall say today, Amen.
From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And when this happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
And that's according to Exodus chapter 23 and verse 7, and Deuteronomy chapter 27 and verse 25. As this dream has become a disaster, the dreamer of dreams, and there's more as we now continue in part 2. And right now, we're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 23. And I'm going to start at verse 19, since 19 was the subject. And that says, I quote, "Behold, a whirlwind of the Lord is going forth in fury." That whirlwind today is called spacecrafts. So that's what spacecrafts that NORAD and the United States government in Canada calls UFOs. Even a grievous whirlwind. Some call it now tornadoes too. And hurricanes. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. Now we know it's a spacecraft. Why? Because verse 20, the anger of the Lord shall not return until he have executed, and till he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days he shall consider it perfectly. These are not the latter days. You ask me when is the end of the world. That's synonymous to the latter days. Well, now we're in it. Verse 21. See, I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. I have a dream that one day in Washington, D.C., the Lincoln Memorial, little black boys and little black girls will walk hand in hand with little white boys and little white girls, or reverse, vice versa. Little white girls and little white boys will walk hand in hand with little black boys and little black girls. And my children will not be judged by the character, by the color of their skin, by the concrete of their character, by the concrete of their character. I haven't sent you to say no kind of shit like that. Where you get that from? I said, separate yourself. Yeah. But if they had stood in my counsel, according to verse 22, I'm still in Jeremiah chapter 23. But if they had stood in my counsel and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned them from their evil way and from the evil of their doings. Am I a God at hand? See in my hand? This is the same hand that's found in Isaiah chapter 40. The span of my hand. 9 inches is 9 inches from the pinky finger to the thumb, 9 inches. That gives you an idea of my hand, both. That's the hand of what they call an alien. 9 inches from here to here on the ruler. Want to shake it? Want to get the idea? Watch this. Put your hand up here. Give you an idea. See that? I hid her hand in my hand. That's an alien hand. I'm what you call an alien. The U.S. government wants you to think that we're aliens and that we're illegal. So because of that, they want to get rid of all illegal aliens in the United States. and don't even want my aliens born in this country. Right, Hillel? Hillel knows who I'm speaking of now. I'm still in Jeremiah chapter 22. See, am I a God at hand, said the Lord, and not a God afar off into another galaxy? I'm right here at hand. That's verse 23. Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him, even if it is 30 feet below the surface of the planet? Said the Lord. Do not I feel heaven and earth, said the Lord, in verse 24. See, I have heard with my own ears what the prophet said. The prophets are lies in my name, but they didn't know my name. They just used God. God. God told me to tell you. I have many things to say to you right now, but it doesn't bother me now because I've been to the mountaintop. And mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
God, even Jesus. Jesus. In English, Jesus. My people every Sunday. And then pretend like they're doing push-ups.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
Jesus. Ah, glory, Yahweh. Ah, glory. God told me to tell you, I have a dream. Prophesy lies in my name saying, I have a dream. I'm in verse 25. Look it up. Follow me. I repeat, verse 25. I have heard what the prophet said that prophesy lies in my name. Regardless of what name they use God as an appellation saying, I have dreamed. I have dreamed.
I have a dream. I have a dream.
So my question is, how long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yeah, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart, which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal. That's verse 27. The prophet that hath a dream, let him tell a dream. And he that hath my word, let him speak my word faithfully. What is the chaff to the wheat, said the Lord? Is not my word like as a fire, said the Lord, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets, said the Lord, that steal my words, every one from his neighbor. And behold, I am against the prophets, said the Lord, that use their tongues and say, he saith, God said it, he said. Verse 31. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, said the Lord, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies and by their likeness of the complexion of their skin. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them, therefore they shall not profit this people at all, said the Lord. And when this people or that prophet or a priest shall ask thee, saying, what is the burden of the Lord? Where is Yahweh ben Yahweh? Where is he? Thou shalt then say unto them, what burden? I will even forsake you, said the Lord. And as for the prophet in verse 34, and the priest and the people that shall say, the burden of the Lord, I will even punish that man and his house, all of it. Thus shall you say, every one to his neighbor, and every one to his brother, what hath the Lord answered? And what hath the Lord spoken? And the burden of the Lord shall you mention no more, for every man's word shall be his burden. For ye have perverted the words of the living God, of the Lord of hosts, our God. That's verse 36. So what happened? Became a dreamer of dreams. Going back to Joel chapter 2, what's the name? See, I said, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. Take a look at Joel chapter 2. And what's the mystery? Look at verse 28 of Joel chapter 2. I said what? This is what I promised. I said afterwards. And it shall come to pass afterward, that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. Don't you see the punctuation marks of the English's grammar there? Each comma, semicolon, and colon bears a meaning. Not so on the scrolls originally. I repeat, and it shall come to pass afterward, comma. That means pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and pause. Why? Because a shock is about to come after the comma. What's the shock? That I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. That's the shock. You had to take a breath. Now you have a semicolon there. That means what? What follows has nothing to do with me pouring out my spirit upon all flesh. Why? Because your sons and daughters shall prophesy. That's why. Prophesy what? They're going to prophesy what they heard the prophet say. They cannot prophesy originally. They cannot have their own prophecies, but they can prophesy based on what they hear of prophecies from the prophets. They would tell people to remind them, haven't you heard this prophecy that said it should be as it was in the days of Noah? Well, here it is. So like a reminder or a reiteration. Reiterate. I mean, it's the old men shall dream dreams. Why? Because my spirit is not upon them. They got theirs from the old men that dream dreams. I wouldn't allow my spirit to fall on people that have dreams of dreams, because that's death. You think I'm going to allow my people or put my spirit on those that I love to go to death, to succumb to death? You don't know what this means because it was sealed. It was, how would you know? I have to come and loose the seal. But your young men shall see visions, and they are. Some is called televisions. And right now, as I'm speaking, young men are right now all over this country and all over the planet with cell phones in their hand, looking at visions of games on their phone. They see visions, even televisions. And some are looking right now at this vision that you see on your screen, my vision, as promised. Don't you see a colon after visions in verse 28? Well, that means I'm going to introduce you to something where I'm going to continue to pour out my flesh, pour out my spirit upon all flesh. That's what that colon represents in verse 28. The last word, visions, after 28, I will continue. That's why it begins with and, conjunction. And also, see, also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit. upon them, not the old man that dream dreams. Why is that important? Why is that so important? Verse 32. Verse 32. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on my name, call on the name of the Lord, shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord has said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call, I have already called. Don't you know what they are about, these men? And they're on YouTube. They have created their own organizations. They even still wearing white. They even have women standing next to them, and they created their own clubs. Promoting what? Promoting 1980s videos of a man that no longer exists. That never taught. He preached. Why? Because this time, Zechariah had his way. But he returned this time as Hulon, opposed to Zechariah back in the days. See, Zechariah back in the days, Elizabeth told the name of Yohanan. This day, Elizabeth didn't have her way. Hulon had his way. And when that child came out as the firstborn of her womb, Hulon Mitchell Sr. named that son Hulon Mitchell Jr. to grow up into the knowledge of Christianity until he became and went on his own. He grew up under the name of Jesus. That's all he heard. Because as Zechariah was, so was Hulon, a man of God, with the wrong God. And so was the pearl that was with him. Because Hulon came out of a pearl to become light. That's why it has bright and light in Ecclesiastes. Not a coincidence. It's a business to make money. You don't have the knowledge of 2 Timothy chapter 3? You asked me the last days, what's the sign? Well, take a look at 2 Timothy chapter 3. This know also, begin at verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, period. Why? For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, even wearing white, as he taught them to wear white. You were white because he wore white.
It's over. See, all of you been wearing white because I wore it.
Even as he told you that he taught you for 12 long, hard years on his part. And he wasn't coming back to it, ever. He left it in the recording for you. We're going to play that recording for you. Like right about now.
Luminous, you have walked in my light for 12 long, hard, suffering years on my part. And I have suffered your soiled hands and your sore mentality. And I'm not coming back to it. Ever. That's over and done. And it's finished.
And as he said that, you heard it. Ain't coming back to it ever. His days is over. And you wore white because he wore it. You're not going to ever come to the knowledge of anything until you study the knowledge of your name, but you don't even know your name because you think your name is on your birth certificate. Some of you, others created your own name. You created your own name. There's a promise in Isaiah chapter 45. You created your own name. And some of the most ridiculous names that you call yourselves. Some call themselves Ajax. I mean, just ridiculous. Screwdriver. Monkey man. Lotionette. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. In verse 5. Having a form of godliness, wearing white. Even have a tetragrammaton around your neck. You don't have no idea what it means. Think it's God's name in Hebrew. Well, I caution you and I warn you at the same time today, from such turn away, mine angels. That's 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. Don't you see I pour out my spirit upon all flesh to be like me, that they will not be following dreamers of dreams? Why they're so important? Well, here's why. As I'm going to tell you why. Here's the message I'm going to give you. Now you have to go to Deuteronomy chapter 13. As I close, I'm going to leave you with this. Deuteronomy 1, you think I'm going to deploy, leave my spirit on men or women and women, the sorcerers, idolaters, dreamers of dream, knowing that I have this law? As Shiloh, the lawgiver is here, according to Genesis chapter 49 and verse 10. Here is what I'm going to leave you with. I'm going to caution my people at the same time. Do not follow these men on YouTube or Facebook or WeTube. I don't care what kind of tube they make. Do not follow these people. There is no Yahweh ben Yahweh. You follow the God, a man that created the God of his own. Just as it says in 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 29, all nations made gods of their own. Every nation made a god of their own. 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 29. And they put them in the houses of the high places that they call the church today, in every city that the Samaritans have made. Deuteronomy chapter 13 is in Mem, water, the God of water. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or wonder. So now you need to know what's a dreamer of dreams. According to most dictionaries of England, the English dictionaries, the first definition you get is a dream is a series of thoughts, images, or emotions occurring during sleep. That means these people are still sleeping in the spirit of deep sleep, as it says in Isaiah chapter 29 and verses 10, 11, and 12. They're in the spirit of deep sleep. According to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, I repeat, a dream is a series of thoughts, images, or emotions occurring during sleep. So what's the biblical meaning? The biblical meaning is a natural state of sleep that God can use as a supernatural channel or divine communication, revelation, warnings, and prophecy. That's what the Christians put there for you to believe. As if God going to have to let you have a dream. You have to know the spirit of truth to tell you the truth. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free from these lies. According to John 8, chapter 8, verse 32. It also says that a dream, according to Wikipedia, a dream is a succession of images, a dynamic scenes, and situations, ideas, emotions, and sensations that usually occur involuntarily in the mind during certain moments, like sleeping, dreaming, during certain stages of sleep. It also says that humans spend more than 2 hours dreaming per night, and each dream lasts around 5 to 20 minutes. I guess that comes from psychologists. According to dictionary.com, online computer software, a dream is a succession of images, thoughts, or emotions passing through the mind during sleep. And according to the Cambridge Dictionary, A dream is a series of events or images that happen in your mind when you are sleeping, and some have daydreaming. You even have daydreams. Can you imagine? Daydreaming. Doesn't even have to be dark. That's when you catch someone staring off into space someplace, and you're walking on them, and they're just looking at one object, and you think that they're frozen. Hey, what's going on? Oh, wow. I didn't see you standing there. I was just thinking if I won the lottery, what I'm going to do with the money. Yeah, you dreaming all right. I mean, but people won the lottery, yeah. They dreamed they won it too, didn't they? It no longer was a dream. See, those who won the lottery, they wasn't dreaming. They won it. It was real. If it exists. So now you know where the dream is. However, when you get to the Hebrew meaning, the biblical meaning of dream that you find in concordance, you'll see it occurs 74 times printed in the King James Version Bible in 61 verses. The first reference is H 2472 that tells you it's prophetic. A prophetic meaning, that's a lie. There is no dream that gives you a prophetic meaning. Takes you to the etymology of it, which is H 2492, and tells you that to dream of false prophets. Yeah, now you get more like it. But then they come and then they lie to you and say it to be healthy and to restore the health. So a dream is going to all of a sudden you go to sleep subconsciously and you have a dream and you go to bed sick. When you wake up, you'll be healthy. That is a dream. Without going to medical aid. However, when you get to the New Testament, that's the Hebrew meaning. When you get to dream in the New Testament, as the Greeks will confess to you what a dream is, then it takes you to the Greek reference G 3677, an R, and it tells you that it's just a dream. Because they don't want you to know what? The truth? That's according to the first Greek meaning. However, when you get to the Acts in chapter 2, verse 17, I read, quote, "And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams." So what does that mean? Here's what it means. So listen, this dream in English, the way it is, from left to right, spelled DREAM, is printed in the New Testament a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. I repeat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. New Testament. 6 of those 7 times, the Greeks gave you the reference of G3677 with no etymology that says it's just a dream. Again, that's on the G3677. You can look it up, no etymology, and tells you it's just a dream. However, the truth is, when they repeated Acts chapter 2, verse 17, that came from Joel chapter 2, it tells you a different meaning in Greek. It takes you to G1798 with a couple of etymologies. The first takes you to a dream under G1798. However, the first etymology takes you to the meaning of in, by, and with. That means what? A dream, in illusion, by the dreamer, with illusions. And another etymology they give you is G1519, It takes you into, unto, to, towards, or among, or for among, for and among. That's the other etymology. And the G1537 of the Greeks, it takes you to eat. This is eat. This is what Greek word eat. Tells you that a dream is out of, from, by, away from. That's supposed to be dream. You can fill in the blanks, but they tell you to get away from it, stay away from it, and out of it, come out of it. Because there's no such thing as a dream. Remember, that's under the Greek word E, that's found in G1736 of the Greek. Actually, 1798 in Acts chapter 2. Don't you know what Acts chapter 2, verse 21 says? If you don't, you do not hear is what it says. Remember, this is a supplement that comes from John chapter 2. That's why the place in Acts chapter 2. Acts 2:21, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call the name of the Lord shall be saved, not delivered. And John 2:32, it says delivered. Here they have saved. So who's the dreamer of dreams? Someone who's hallucinating. Those on Facebook and YouTube who are placing these old 1980s videos of, quote, Yahweh ben Yahweh online for people to see, hear, and believe in are hallucinating. They're delusional. Thinking a dead man's going to come back, all of a sudden the ashes are going to put themselves back together. And he's not only that, but he's going to look exactly like he did in the 1980s when he was on the podium teaching those visions. Could you imagine? Even had he been alive today, August of 2026, October 27th will make, remember, will make what, 90, 93 years? 1935, 2026. More like 92, 93 years, wouldn't it? Tell you my math is bad, don't count on me. Don't you copy off my paper if you're in a math class with me and you want to pass. Because you'd be in summer school right with me, sitting next to me again, copying off my paper. Trying to get to the 5th grade. I'm still in Deuteronomy chapter 13. I had to give you the meaning of what dream is first, dreamer and dreams, so you know not to fall into that illusional mess. So I repeat verse 1. If there arise, there shall false Christ and false prophets shall arise. Right back in Matthew chapter 24, verse 24. They shall arise. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and give thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Other gods that you have not known, one would be named Yahweh, because you are Hebrew. You do not know any English gods. So one God that you have not known would be Yahweh. Verse 3 clears it up. Verse 3 confirms it. Thou should not hearken to the words of that prophet or that dream of dreams. For the Lord your God proveth you to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Got it? So what? Ye shall walk after the Lord your God. You got it? You shall walk after the Lord your God. That's verse 3. That's actually verse 4. You shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him and cleave unto him. Did you not know that you who believe in that Yahweh ben Yahweh is the Son of God, did you not know that he has to first meet the height requirement? As promised. He's got to meet the height requirement as promised in Revelation chapter 21, verse 17. He's got to be at least 4 cubits in height, which is 18 inches a cubit times 4. That's 72 inches. Same as 6 feet. And he was only 5'9" in that vessel. Or did you not know that? Did you not know that who you were calling Yahweh ben Yahweh could not have been the Son of God of Hebrews, not standing at 5 feet 9 inches in height, as was not promised in Revelation chapter 21, verse 17, that should be 6 feet in height? Neither was he born according to the Feast of Tabernacles. He came out of the womb on the 15th day of the 8th month, not the 15th day of the 7th month, according to the Hebrew calendar. But you still want to insist, as he did, that he's God, the Son of God. God, the Son of God. In fact, verse 5, Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 5, and that prophet or that dream of dreams shall be put to death. I'll repeat. Let me go back to verse 4 so you'll see I'm not making this up. Verse 4, ye shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice. And ye shall serve him and cleave unto him. And that one who you're following that's guiding you and leading you to serve other gods, and that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, even on April 4th, 1968, by assassin's bullet in Memphis, Tennessee. And or by Cain, the god of cancer, on May 7, 2007. Why? Because he hath spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which the Lord thy God commanded thee to walk in. So shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee. Verse 6, if thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or thy wife, the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thine own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers, namely, in verse 7, of the gods of the people which are round about you in the United States of America today and on the islands of the Caribbean and every country where Judah has been scattered, nigh unto thee or far off from thee in Europe, from the one end of the earth of Europe even to the other end of the earth in Asia, or in the North Pole, from the South Pole in Canada, in Brazil, thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall thine eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him, but thou shalt surely kill him. Thy hand should be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people. And thou shalt stone him with stones, that he die. Why? Because he has sought to thrust thee away from the Lord thy God. Thrust means to take you away, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. Verse 11. And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this among you. You were promised to be redeemed without money. As I pause for a moment, I am not asking you to like or subscribe. I am not after your money. It was promised by my very soul that you have sold yourselves for naught in Isaiah chapter 52 and verses 1, 2, and 3. Therefore you shall be redeemed without money. These thieves and robbers after money. Verse 12. Deuteronomy chapter 13. If thou shalt hear say in one of thy cities, which the Lord thy God has given thee to dwell therein, saying, certain men, the children of Belial, are going out from among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their city, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which ye have not known. Then shalt thou inquire and make search, and ask diligently, and behold, if it be truth, and the thing certain, that such abomination
is wrought among you. Thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, and all that is therein, and the cattle thereof with the edge of the sword. And thou shalt gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street thereof, and shalt burn with fire the city, and all the spoil thereof every whit. Now here we have the United States government looking at this video and saying he's enticing a riot. He wants his people to go and burn down the city, the country, because we're serving Jesus. And on that note, let me remind you, first of all, of your Constitution, the Amendment 1, the First Amendment. I have the freedom of religion. I also have the freedom of press. And right now, I'm reading off the printing press. I'm quoting the Bible. I'm encouraging my people, don't you do no such wickedness in this country of wickedness. Come to me in Miami and I'll teach you to be righteous, where you will no longer serve dreamer of dreams, because I'm getting out of here, as promised. My ship's already here. The mothership is already here. Our fleet is here. Don't you know the U.S. government was forced to reveal the secret UFO files and the alien files? That's what we are. Do you see what I'm wearing? Yeah. Oh, he enticing a riot, you fool. Yeah, it's going to be a riot, all right. Go find Jackie Gleason and Alice.
Oh, you're a riot one of these days. Pow, right in the kiss.
As Jackie Gleason saw some of us back with Nixon a few years ago. And here Jackie Gleason tell Alice, oh, you're a riot, Alice. You're a real riot.
Oh, you're a riot one of these days. Pow, right in the kiss.
Freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of press. I repeat in verse 16, and thou shalt gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street thereof, and shall burn with fire the city, and all the spoil thereof every whit for the Lord thy God, and it shall be an heap forever. It shall not be built again. So Judah, this is not your land. You cannot do this here. And there shall cleave naught, I repeat, verse 17, and there shall cleave naught of the cursed thing to thine hand, that the Lord may turn from the fierceness of his anger, and shew thee mercy, and have compassion upon thee, and multiply thee, as he has sworn unto thy fathers. And finally, verse 18, when thou shalt hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep all his commandments, which I command thee this day. Now it's August 19th, 2026 on that calendar, to do that which is right in the eyes of the Lord thy God, period. In the verse 18. And that's the end of my testimony and revelation of the dreamer of dreams. I caution you as I leave, Judah, don't follow them. Don't you look and follow these videos of a 1980s band that is no longer here, looking the same way in their vessel. 1935, 2026. Isn't that like 80? That's over 90, isn't it? 91. Look at how you ever see that 91-year-old man? What do it look like? It's 91, isn't it? 91. I think you should do some research to see what a 90-year-old light-skinned African-American man would look like. So you don't, they're deceiving the people and making them think that he still has a black salt and pepper beard, black hair. And most of it is AI. They do it now. Well, whatever he looks like, you're not going to see me anymore. Not on this thing. Because that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. To wit, I am Mika. I am the first, Mem. I am also the last, Yod. I am Mem Yod. For thereby I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me.
I am the one that this entire planet is waiting for to come as the Christ. I am the only one that fulfilled Revelation chapter 19 and verse 12. I have come in a name that no man knew that was written except me, myself. I have also come in the name of the God of the Hebrews that was hidden in Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 9. One name. Now, you cannot prove with substantiating proof that I am not the Christ unless you can prove who is with valuable proof. That is, according to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 21. Until then, you keep your mouth shut at me. Yod.